If you're on a GLP-1 like Tirzepatide and you're finding it hard to get your protein in because your appetite is just gone, this video is for you, because today I'm showing you how I meal prep 2 meals that are over 40 grams of protein per serving. And the best part is I can prep these in under an hour, because while the chicken is cooking in the oven, I can cook the beef on the stove. If you're new here, hi, my name is Pamela, and I share the real unfiltered truth about losing weight on compounded Tirzepatide every single week. If that's your kind of channel, then make sure you subscribe and follow my journey. And just to put this disclaimer up front, I am not a healthcare provider, a doctor, a nutritionist, a dietitian. Everything that I share on my channel is just based on my personal experience and is not intended to be medical advice. I highly suggest you talk to your healthcare provider or your nutritionist to find out what's going to work best for you in your journey. Now, with that being said, let's get into this week's meal prep. If you've been on a GLP-1 for any amount of time, then you know that the appetite suppression is what makes it work, but it's also something that can make eating feel like a chore. And sometimes that suppression is just a bit overwhelming. You stand in front of the refrigerator, you don't really have an appetite, you don't know what to eat, nothing sounds good, and just the thought of fixing something kind of makes you a little queasy, so you end up not eating. And next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock, all you've had is some crackers or some coffee. The problem with that is your body still needs protein. Without it, you'll lose muscle along with the fat. You'll start losing your hair and you'll feel fatigued, and the whole journey just gets harder. I remember very early on in my journey where I was struggling with getting in enough nutrition, and there were several days where I just didn't have the energy to do anything, and that included cooking. So having meals already prepped and ready to go definitely helped me get through those hard times. When I started prioritizing protein, I started to notice my hair growing back in, and I had more energy. What fixed it for me? It wasn't willpower. It was preparation. Having food already prepared and ready to go in my refrigerator meant that I didn't have to get up and cook anything. I didn't have to figure out what I was gonna eat. It was just there, and it was so much easier. So today I'm gonna take you through 2 very quick meals. I can have all of this done in under an hour. We will time it. It is 5:34. I'm gonna go ahead and start with 10 minutes on the clock. So we'll say 5:25 is when I started, because I've already pre-seasoned all of my meat, and that took me about 10 minutes. And that was just a time-saving tip. Plus, I wanted my meat to be very flavorful. So I've already got my chicken cleaned and seasoned, sitting in this nice marinade. These are all the items that I'm using for today's meal prep, and everything that you see here cost me just under $55. Now I'm going to take you right into how I seasoned the meat for today's meal prep.
Sentimental kind of chemistry. Some people make it hard. That isn't the case. 'Cause I make it so easy to fall in love. So come give me a call and we'll fall into us. I'm the perfect mix of Saturday night and the rest of your life. Anyone with a
For this meal, we need some chicken thighs. These are already being marinated in some avocado oil and garlic and seasonings. I also have some broccoli here that I'm just gonna cut off the florets. I have some minced garlic, some Italian seasoning, and some avocado oil. Now this one's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and get my oven heated to 425. And then I'm going to cut the florets off of the broccoli heads and give those a good wash. I've got my broccoli soaking in some vinegar water, and I'm gonna get my pan ready. I'm using a 12 by 16 inch pan. I figured this will be good enough to get all of my chicken and broccoli in one pan. The recipe actually calls for 2 separate pans, but I figure a little bit of the chicken juice will help season or flavor the broccoli. So I'm just gonna put it all in one pan. Also, it's less cleanup. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of avocado oil. And the reason I'm not lining my pan is I kind of want the chicken to get that brown on both the bottom and the top. And I figure without lining it and just putting some avocado oil down, that'll help with the browning. I'm just gonna throw my broccoli into the pan here and drizzle it with a little bit of avocado oil. And then it calls for some Italian seasoning, and it says about a teaspoon. I'm just gonna season it till I feel like there's enough. And then it calls for a couple of tablespoons of garlic, and there's about 2 tablespoons left in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there. You guys know I love my Goya vegetable seasoning, so that is what I'm going to use with this. And I'm going to use maybe 2 packets. You can put some gloves on if you'd like, but this is for me. I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and mix it around and try to get the broccoli all coated with that garlic and the seasoning. Now that the broccoli is all seasoned, I'm going to drop my chicken in. I'm just going to lay the chicken out so that it is in a single layer, and that will help it to cook more evenly. And this is what we're looking like, going into the oven at 425 for 25 minutes. For the second recipe, I need a cucumber, some cherry tomatoes, half of a red onion. I'm going to get the cherry tomatoes soaking in some water. And then the star of this show is going to be my marinated sirloin steak. I'm going to sear this on all sides and get some good color on it. I'm going to get my pan nice and hot here and drizzle a little avocado oil. Now I like using avocado oil as opposed to olive oil, which you can definitely use olive oil if you'd like, but for me, avocado oil just has a milder flavor and it has a higher smoke point. Since we're cooking the chicken at 425, having a higher smoke point is perfect. My timer just went off. I'm gonna check on my chicken. It is looking fabulous. While my meat is resting, I'm going to go ahead and get my vinaigrette done. The time is now 6:22 and we are done. As you see, I was able to finish this in just under an hour, including my prep time. The recipes are going to be linked down below. They're designed for 8 meals, but because I got a little bit of extra chicken and broccoli, I was able to make an extra meal out of that. So I have 9 meals prepped and ready to go for the week. As you can see, this beef is quite a bit, and so are the vegetables. So if I don't feel like eating all of this, I'll eat like maybe half to 3/4 of it, and I'll save the rest for later. Now this particular meal is designed to be eaten cold or at room temperature, but I'm not a fan of room temperature meat, so I will heat it up just a little bit just to take the chill off. And just a little helpful tip, when you're heating up the foods, sometimes the smells can actually contribute to that nausea that you might feel on a GLP-1. So eating it at room temperature may help if you are feeling a little queasy. And on this particular meal, if I don't feel like eating the cottage cheese, I'll just have a boiled egg with it so that I'm still getting a lot of protein in my meal. I'm excited about these meals. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe and follow my journey. I share the real truth about losing weight on compounded tirzepatide every single week, and I would love to have you along. And if you're just starting out on your journey or even just thinking about it, I created a free tirzepatide starter guide. The link is down in the description of this video, along with the link to the shopping list and the recipes for today's meal prep. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, remember, none of us are perfect, but you can always be perfectly you.